I think it's really important to educate landlords about the difference between a sublet agreement and guaranteed rent, because they need to understand the impact that it will actually have on them. Landlords need to go into these kind of deals with their eyes open, understanding what kind of impact it could have on their relationship with their insurers, their mortgage lender, also what kind of securities they really have in terms of, damage to the property, what's going to happen to the property while it's actually let. When you have a subletting agreement, you normally enter into, you have a tenant who enters into a tenancy agreement directly with the landlord, a normal, what we refer to as a Housing Act tenancy agreement. And then they basically sublet the property using leases or sometimes exactly the same type of tenancy agreement that they had in the first place. What Northwood do is very different. We have what's referred to as a non-Housing Act tenancy agreement in place with the landlord. This recognises the fact that Northwood is a company, so not an individual, it's a legal entity who is the tenant. And this tenancy agreement specifically allows the tenant, in this case Northwood, to sublet the property using a suitable tenancy agreement for the type of tenancy that would be in place. If you have a tenant who rents a property on a normal tenancy agreement, then most of those tenancies will have a clause in them specifically saying that you cannot sublet. And I guess that's the biggest difference between the two agreements, is the fact that the Northwood agreement is specifically for that kind of scenario, acknowledging the fact that the property will be sublet. Although not all our landlords actually have mortgages on their properties, we have made sure that there is a clause in the agreements which encourages landlords to seek approval from their mortgage company to ensure that it's okay for them to let properties. And of course, if any issues arise from that, then we will do our best to help the landlord resolve that situation.